Well, I just got.
So JJ banned the Druid. I think it's because like he know Ryzen is a good rogue player, but
The Imp Gang Boss, the Iron Beak, and the Corruptor.
Let's see, let me get into the game here. Alright. Imp Gang Boss, pretty good card against the Shaman. Just gives you a lot of board presence early in the game.
I would say that Shaman is favored in this matchup. And they just tend to be a little bit too fast. So unless you get yourself mid-house, it's really hard to keep up with the early game. And then it's just gonna snowball from there with damage.
Yeah. Not the worst cards here in the hand though. You get the Gang Boss, you got the Implosion. Both the cards that just deal with your opponent's board and give you board presence at the same time, so we'll see if he can stabilize fast enough, but we have a really good start for the Ryzen. We got the Finlay into the Totem Golem.
I think you get the Totem Golem out first and then you play Finlay afterwards.
Yeah. Good presence.
You just want max power on board and you know there's no card in the deck to deal with that. Yeah, except the Soulfire. Okay. Take it back, but it's not optimal, but you might be forced to do it actually. Just hope not to discard your Imp Gang Boss. I think in this matchup it makes sense doing it.
I think you just want to lose your Emperor here. You don't really care about Emperor.
Yeah.
Like you have to keep Gang Boss and Implosion. It's the big ones.
Yeah, Emperor is not that important in this matchup. It's usually too slow.
But that's actually quite the smart play to coin out the Golem. Then you have 1 mana next turn, you can play the Finlay, and then you play just the Ancestral Knowledge into like 1 mana spell or something like that, or like a Leopardom if you draw it. Once you weigh discards, Blackwing. Alright, not too bad. You didn't have a dragon anyway.
Yeah, I think that's like the second best one too.
Let's see what kind of hero power he gets here. Shapeshift.
Druid. Yeah, the Druid is an insta pick here. Even though he doesn't have Doomhammer, he has Ancestral Knowledge. There's a good chance he'll draw one of his 2 Doomhammers.
Yeah. There's a lot of choices that are pretty good for a Shaman, right? You have the Shapeshift, you have the Hunter hero power, obviously, and even the Warlock hero power is pretty good to just like draw until you burn. Especially because you're usually not going to take a lot of punishment early. It's a pretty good way to deal with a Imp Gang Boss if he wants to. You can just Rock Biter his Finlay and deal with it.
Yeah, I usually want to save him for the Doomhammer, but he's not even guaranteed to draw one.
Yeah, especially because like his board is pretty weak here. His hand is pretty weak here. His board is weak too, but no. I'll get punished by the Implosion here. If it rolls 3. If it rolls 2, even if it rolls 2, it's not too bad. For CPJG, he's actually in a really good position.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. It's such a good position for JJ, and Imp Gang Boss is really doing some work here. Like, yeah, even if he misses, like he'll just spawn an extra Imp from Imp Gang Boss.
Yeah, this is not too bad. Gets the 3rd Imp from the Gang Boss. Only misses out on 2 damage. And his hand is really poor here. You have a lot of burn cards.
You just don't have the mana to cast it all.
Yeah.
And here your opponent is at 29. This is not the situation you want to be in.
Yeah, you want to have that.
If JJ takes the board, there's a good chance that he's gonna be able to heal out of range.
Especially you're just gonna be able to raise him too. That just pushes the damage, right? You want to have that kind of hand if your opponent has like 14 HP and not 29, you know.
Exactly.
Just all of his burn. Finally picks up a minion that he can't play next turn, but he's still overloaded from Ancestral Knowledge. So really good draws for JJ here. Just gets the Azure Drake, has the Emperor to follow it up. Just really solid drops. And even if he wants to play the Mortal Call next turn, he can just play the Drake with the Mortal Call. So like,
all this, and he can't even play his.
Let's see how much damage does he have? He has like 3. He has like 3, 13, 16, 22, 25.
He has with Fraggle's rules, Mac, he has like definitely about 30.
In theory, he has more than 30, right? The question is, does he have the time to cast them all?
I don't think so. If he's just gonna ignore the board, he's gonna die in a few turns.
Yeah, but I mean, he has to do it. There's no way he gets the board back.
He needs a Lava Shock, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting to see if he just like plays a taunt here and just realizes, oh, he doesn't.
He doesn't have
Doesn't
to
even play minions.
because there's no Doomhammer coming down no matter what next turn. But there's still charges, so I wouldn't mind him playing a 3/6. I would just coil a minion, get closer to your heal bot. You can do that.
Yeah. I sure don't hate that.
You just saw what Ryzen's intention was. He's just like going all face, ignoring the board now. So
yeah, but
you could just have played the taunt.
But the Emperor, you still have. You can still coil next turn into a heal bot. You don't play around the taunts this way, but against the charges this way. But like the charges he plays normally like maybe a Wolf Rider or a Horse Rider, and that's just like 3 damage. And you can basically deal that with the spell as well.
Oh,
So.
And also an important thing to note is that I think this gives like higher chance of him top ticking lethal.
Yeah, as well. Or just with the coil too. Big game's not gonna be it. Pretty sure we're gonna see the coil here.
Yeah.
No way we see a tap. He's just dead in 2 turns for sure. Let's see. Can he draw lethal? If he draws the Lava Shock, it gives him 7 mana, so he has 2 damage. Let's say Crackle rolls for like highest, that's another 12, right? 12, 14. He can have lethal. If he draws the Lava Shock and the Crackles roll high enough, he has lethal.
Yeah, that's true.
Really unlucky for.
Yeah, he can even roll one. He can roll a 5 and a 6, I think.
Yeah. Really unlucky for JJ here that he doesn't draw into lethal. It's like he's like 2 damage off.
But there's still no way you tap here. There is absolutely
no. I don't think so. You just saw your opponent just wants to go face. A little bit of a misplay here. Actually, no. He had to get the dragon for the taunt. Never mind. So, let's see. No Lava Shock. That means no way to win.
And no way to stay alive.
Yep.
So that's going to be 1-0 to JJ. Just getting a terrible draw there, Ryzen. Like, you're drawing all your burn first and your minions last. That just means you have no way of making much sense in the game.
1-6. And another 6.
Yeah. just got that Lava Shock.
The Lava Shock would have been interesting there. So he's got a choice now between Rogue or Warrior. What do you guys think of that?
I don't know what kind of warrior he's playing, but both warriors are bad against Melilog, so I think he's just gonna go for Rogue.
Yeah, we saw earlier that Warrior does struggle, just gets out carded in the late game and just struggles.
It's not better for control warriors. They have a hard time with all the mid-range minions. There's just too many minions for. It's kind of like against Druid. Like Warrior struggles to deal with a lot of mid-range minions, which has like Melilog has a lot of.
Yeah, it's really hard to keep up with the tapping. It's really hard for Warrior to keep up the drawing power.
And they can that match and against Control Warrior, Melilog can just save Brand for some like extreme value turns. Like they can turn 10, for example. A play is Bran, Dark Peddler into a Surge Rig or something.
Yeah, and the Warriors, the move just goes 1 for 1 the whole time, and the Warlocks could just fill up its hand. Like the Warrior doesn't deal with more than one thing at a time particularly well, so all of the time you're struggling to actually get any sort of advantage, and you don't have the burst to get it over with quickly. If that's Control Warrior, at least. Obviously, with Rogue, he has some sort of burst potential, but yeah, it's interesting.
Rogue definitely the better matchup here. If he's comfortable with this matchup, like we saw last game, he's not really comfortable against the Reno Lock. Like I don't know how comfortable he is against Melilog. I wouldn't say the 2 decks are very similar, but it's a lot about when do you push for damage, when do you go all in on the board. Those things are kind of similar how you play those matchups. So we'll see what he picks. I would go for the Rogue here for sure. If he has Control Warrior, I'm personally not very uncomfortable with this matchup. Like I'm fine with playing that matchup, but it all comes down to, like you said at the start of the broadcast, right? He goes for things he's comfortable with, and that's actually really important. We've seen him struggle a little bit with the Rogue against the Warlock, so he goes for the Warrior here.
Looks like it's gonna be Patron, right? That's an inner rage.
Yeah, I think that's a really bad matchup then. I don't know why he goes for that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I would pick the Rogue, I think.
Maybe he just isn't happy with the matchup after how the last match went against. I know it's a different deck, but if he's just struggled against the lock once, maybe he wants to try something a bit differently.
Yeah, it's possible. He also plays the core corner. Like, did we see him earlier also with the core corner lead, or was it someone else?
That was somebody else. That was the other.
Oh, we saw Yagut, right? Yagut lost to Warlock.
Yeah.
Like, you saw he had no chance.
He got absolutely crushed. Yeah.
Yeah, he got outlasted by the Warlock. So I don't really know why Ryzen goes for that, especially like if he's really is that like rogue specialist that we like all hyped him up to be. Then I don't see why he doesn't take the better matchup, because I think this matchup was quite skewed into the favor of the Warlock.
This is a good hand from JJ. He has early game and he has a Twilight Drake as well.
Yeah.
And the good thing about Dark Pendler is that it gives the card back, so you can still play this and get like a decent sized Twilight Drake.
It's true. The one that just doesn't die to like a slam, Deathbite, or just like a Deathbite alone, right? So Zombie Chow not the best card against Warrior.
Yeah, I'm actually considering just not keeping it even if against Warriors.
But I don't know how many War Axes this patron displays. Like
everyone plays 2 War Axes now. You need like it's not like a combo deck in the same way anymore. It's kind of more like a Sembo deck. You need like that's just like everyone plays 2 War Axes right now in patron.
Yeah, at the end of the patron era, if we want to call it that, people started to cut down on the War Axes, right? So
yeah, exactly. Like it didn't do anything for like important combos, so it made a lot of sense. Like it took so long because it was so uninstinctively, right? It was like you just raced in Hearthstone. You raced at War Axes like the nuts. It's nuts card in Warrior, and cutting it. But in the end, it turned out great for like the pre-nerf patron.
I think Zigzo was actually one of the first people to start cutting it, wasn't he? On stream,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, he's a big innovator in the patron field. Alright, just gonna say, I'm even sure if you want to play the abusive here.
I'm really surprised because it like sacks a toughness on the Drake.
Yeah, it doesn't do much here either, right? Just he's gonna have a really good patron turn next turn. It really just all comes down to if Stupid JJ can draw the Hellfire.
It's also nice to have like the abusive combo against like a Loisip or something with the BPH.
Interesting to see the Finley in this deck, but I guess it kind of makes sense because the Warrior Hero Power really doesn't do anything for the patron, right?
Yeah, so I played Finley in patron a lot. It makes a lot of sense. Like it's bad against aggro, but it's just 1 card and you're good against aggro. But it's really, really good against control. Like imagine patron mirror and you get like, or just patron against control warrior and you get like Warlock Hero Power. It really helps a lot.
Yeah.
The same thing against priest. Like if you can draw all your cards, it's usually gonna go good for patron.
How about in this matchup if he manages to roll a Warlock with it? Would that give him some sort of chance in this matchup?
Yeah, I think
to keep up with the cards?
It will definitely give him a better chance. Yeah, I've beaten some of these like control Warlock decks with patron just because they got the Warlock Hero Power. So but also this matchup, the Hunter Hero Power is actually also okay because you're the beatdown. Getting the Hunter Hero Power is a lot better than armoring up. It's not what you don't want to arm up when you're the beatdown, even though Malilok can burst you, you still have to be the aggressor to win this game.
Yeah. Would you guys go for the patron here?
Yeah, you just risk it.
Make yourself vulnerable to Shadow Flame in addition to Hellfire. So we'll see how that goes. He keeps up the Drake. So he has no coils on his hand. No Hellfires. Pretty sure he's just gonna go for a tap here. He should.
It's kind of interesting with Finley because before the Warrior Hero Power was a lot better before the nerf of the War Song, because then you would have inevitability as the patron player, right? So you just want to stall with your Hero Power, but it's changed so much with the nerf. Like you're the beatdown in a lot of decks, like for example against Priest and against Control Warlock.
Alright. Let's see which one he silences here. I'm pretty sure he's gonna silence one of the 3/3s, or maybe the 3/2. He just wants to remove the patrons as fast as possible.
Yeah, he wants to remove the synergy, so I guess you just like kill the 2 healthy ones, silence the other. Silence one and kill the other healthy.
opens himself up to a battle rage here.
I kind
Also,
of have to do
well-
that. Like, battle rage is annoying, but
Yeah.
it's more annoying to have patrons you can't deal with, right?
Actually, in this match, there's a really good chance Ryzen can win this. Because the Wobbin is going to be really strong here. It's going to give him another patron. Actually, it only gives him one patron, but
Yeah.
you
It
still have
draws
patrons on the
cards,
board.
yeah.
Draws one with the Acolyte. If he gets a battle rage here, that would be huge. Throttling.
Yeah.
Interesting to see it still on the
I think
patron.
we're
But
just gonna see a ghoul here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That Hellfire is not showing.
nope, doesn't want to come. So this is what we talked about, right? So that's the one chance patron has if the opponent just doesn't draw the removal. So you can push for enough damage with the patrons to finish him off with whatever combo you have. Or you have like the Corcoran or
Yeah.
Grom, right?
There's nothing to play here for JJ. He can play that, but
And Ryzen choosing to go for
another
that,
patron.
like
Take
building
the
his
jump.
patron board sooner rather than later, which meant that there was less chance that JJ had chance to draw into the removal. It was still a gamble, but he probably knew the matchup well enough to know that, hang on, I've got to go for this now because otherwise it just doesn't work later anyway.
Alright, there it is.
Yeah.
The battle rage. I think we're gonna see the ghoul run into the peddler and then just battle rage for 4.
Yeah, he may be considering playing the Frothing first, but then like it also dies to the
He makes himself
Hellfire
vulnerable to
top
Hellfire.
deck. Like he knows there's no top deck, or there's no Hellfire in hand that he needs to top deck it. So, but he's probably just thinking kind of, am I so far ahead that I shouldn't commit too much into a Hellfire?
Yeah, the thing is, he would die to the Hellfire anyway, right? So like, you have the ghoul,
Yeah, like it would deal
just
4
kills
damage.
after. Yeah. Corcoran is another option here. Just like, trade it in. You saw you didn't have a call either. You just drew into it, right? So, makes another patron. Smart. Goes for like 5 cards with battle rage.
Grom is in the hands.
He just
Yeah,
he just
I
goes-
definitely like Pilgrim a lot more here because it's just 4 guaranteed damage no matter what.
Finlay. He's gonna go for 100 if he gets it.
Oh,
There it is.
yeah, Honda is so good in this situation.
JJ's gonna pull his hair out, like, where's my Hellfire? God damn it, I put 2 in the stack for exactly the stack,
Still
you know?
get one.
Yeah.
I mean, there is like he has 2 draws, one with coil, one with tap.
Yep.
So I don't really see anything. Corruptor is not going to do anything. It's just-
Shadow Flame would do it too, actually. You
I
can play
don't
the
think
Voodoo
they play
Doctor.
it. There's a few Malilok that plays it, but most doesn't.
They don't play Shadow Flame?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like all your minions are like high toughness, low attack.
Yeah.
I guess if you play double BGH, it makes more sense. Like it's not unheard of. I've definitely seen some lists, but it's not common.
Coil on the Ghoul. Deals a little bit of damage. You just have to go for the tap here, I think. There's no choice.
It's interesting because that also gives him an additional draw if he has Hellfire
Nope.
instead of calling the patron.
Just really unfortunate here for him. Normally it's a really good matchup. He's gonna rope. Just, meh,
Just give up. Yeah.
whatever. Alright. Ryzen taking the unfavored matchup here because just JJ didn't draw any of his AoE removal.
Yeah, really surprising Malilok beating Aggro Shaman and then losing to patron.
Yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, just 2 really unfortunate draws, right? Yes, we saw the Shaman just drawing all of its spells early, and we saw the Warlock not drawing enough spells early, you know? It's just-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
So JJ's left with Paladin and Druid. It will be the mid-range Paladin that we've seen him play really well through this tournament, but how does that matchup work out? I assume he'd pick the Druid, but
I'm sure he would beat the Paladin, actually. It's really hard for... It depends on how many qualities he plays. Like, it's really hard to deal with patrons as a Paladin. If you have the qualities, there's always a quality, I don't know, Consecrate or just a Juggler with a Muster, something like that to deal with the patrons. But if you don't have that, if you don't play enough things to deal with the patrons, then it's just really, really hard for Paladin, actually. So...
Yeah, I think if it's the list he plays on stream, it's like 1 equality. It's definitely not favored against patron. So I think you have to go for the Druid. It's kind of like a 50-50 matchup, in my opinion.
Yeah, we saw
Druid, mid Druid against Patron.
We saw Ryzen have the aggro Druid. Let's see how, what deck. I don't think we've seen JJ's Druid yet, right? He was banned in the other match. So we'll see if he goes for the mid.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet.
Aggro is actually not that bad against Patron.
Yeah.
Because Patron doesn't play any health gain cards, right? So.
Something we mentioned during the league stage is actually this matchup hasn't changed that much because the patron's job was always to make 4 patrons as quickly as possible. And even though obviously there's the charge minion and the aspirant now, actually things haven't changed hugely. They sort of balance each other out, the charge nerf and
So we see cards that belong in every Druid deck.
Yeah. It's like the most OP.
Still okay. The Edge Drake kind of gives it away. Yeah. Not the worst hand for Ryzen here. I don't think you keep the execute or the ghoul. I would keep the Finlay. He keeps the execute for innovate.
Actually, I like keeping ghoul against Druid. It's so flexible. There's almost no matchup where I wouldn't where I think ghoul is bad, except maybe against warrior.
Yeah, but in this case, you don't. Oh, interesting. I don't think you take the totem. You go for the
Either you go for Fire Blast or Life Tap. Fire Blast is so good as well. It's kind of fun because sometimes if you have good early game, you should probably go for the Fire Blast because you can ping your own patrons. It's pretty neat.
I haven't played a lot with Finlay yet. How does it work if you have Finlay and then you play a Justicar?
You don't do that.
Does it give you?
It's just starting hero parade. I've never tried it, but I'm pretty sure it's not gonna work out.
Right, shade.
As you expect.
Right, just taps a little. Interesting enough, both hero powers aren't too great against Druid. Both of the classes traditionally lost to Druid, right? You get the handlock and you get the control warrior that usually lost to just the mid-range Druid, right? So you take a lot of your life away from yourself.
Yeah, I was Warlock it's not ideal against Druid. The ping is definitely best, but he just had such a weak hand. He had no follow-up that he kind of had to. But if he kept the ghoul, then he could have.
I don't like keeping ghoul if you have that hand, right? Because you basically. Oh, wow, that's actually so good for him.
You just play minion against.
Yeah,
doesn't even matter what minion it is. I wouldn't keep Armor Smith, but I think ghoul is okay. And then if you get you just need a Frothing or Acolyte or something, then it's really good.
Yeah, but I mean you have to draw into that, right? If you don't.
Yeah, you have War Axe, you can protect it until your patron turn sometimes. It's just so flexible. I really like it. But I guess
let's see what he does here. He has 2 options. He can go for the Drake and then the Coin Boom next turn, or he can just go for the Boom now. Also just silence the Acolyte. I don't really see the point in denying him the card draw because he has the life tap anyway, so he's gonna get the cards no matter what.
But on the other hand, it's if you play Boom now, it's at least 2 cards versus 0 card that he doesn't have to tap for.
Yeah. You also get another card here.
Right now, I think it's just tempo that's important because Ryzen has such a big hand size that giving him an extra card might not matter that much. It's just about the tempo, so I don't mind seeing Boom here.
Yeah, I actually really like it. We'll see.
He just hit face.
The Justicar, by the way, does buff the new hero power.
Alright. He really gets punished here for using execute on the shade. No answer for Boom here.
It's nice to know because but still Justicar on a random hero power you're not sure about which 3 options you get. It's because Justicar is so bad with some of the hero powers, right?
Yeah, it's worded badly.
With the totem, for example, you pick totem. It's not
pick a totem.
It says it buffs your starting hero power, but it actually buffs the one you end up with. So
that's a wording bug, right? He gets to clear the Boom here with a lot of effort. I'm pretty sure he drew into the cork one, right? So, alright. all of a sudden it doesn't look too great for the druid. He has to draw into like minions now, just to keep the board pressure up.
Yeah, and there's no weapon for Harrison.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. Normally, like some of those times you just don't get a weapon. Just like warrior just doesn't play well.
It's like 1 off or something. No, it's 1 mana off or something.
You have the 7, 8, 12, 13. Yeah, it's one damage.
Yeah, 1 damage and 1 mana off.
Yeah. You still just have a really good option. You just play the big game, play the keeper, right? So
I just swipe face, yeah.
Alright, swipe face is fine too. I don't like it that much because you have the Savage War. You always have the swipe for next turn. But... Oh well.
You had the spell damage, you would have like probably the same amount of minions. No, you would have more, I guess. Yeah.
Alright, just tries desperately to like stabilize here. I think that's it. You get the
silence.
Silence.
Now silence is really good. Yeah.
Gets someone into Druid here, so he has to win with this rogue against the Druid now. Definitely not impossible. Gonna be an interesting matchup, I think. This is one of those matchups where like rogue specialists say it's rogue favorite, everyone else says it's Druid favorite, right? So, and this matchup hasn't changed a lot because like not a lot of cards change in this matchup.
I guess the Nasus is like the...
Yeah, but that was the last change, right? That was the last expansion. Not much change with the.
Not with the new expansion now.
With the new expansion, right? So, still a lot of the same cards played. I don't even know, like, if are there new cards in the Druid deck?
Really? Nothing. I don't.
Some play Finley, but I think it's pretty.
I don't see why you would play Finley. Like...
Yeah.
Interesting choice from Super JJ to throw back the Nasus here.
I like it.
Yeah.
Because you have such a strong play here. The Nasus is only like I think Wild Growth is a lot better in this matchup.
You have a perfect curve. You have the Coin Innovate Shredder into
you would much well have like a value minion than a Nasus.
Yeah, it's smart play to throw it back. Also a good hand for Ryzen here though. Really good hand. If he gets a poison, that's really good.
Yeah, making that Violet Teacher against Druid is pretty important, right? Where you just try to they can't swipe it, they can't.
He gets a prep for next turn. This is such a good hand for both players.
Yeah, you force him to have the swipe, right? Good minion drop here.
Yeah.
Can get aside. A little bit unfortunate for him here that he takes 2 more damage than he has to, but you can never like that's always the right play. You always have to hit it first, just to guarantee the 2 damage for the next minion, obviously.
But still swipe doesn't like kill the teacher. He's only at 5 mana.
Doomsayer is the win for Druid here.
Yeah.
Explosive Shield
have minions to follow it up, even if there's Doomsayer.
Alright,
so yeah, when Rogue draws good, it's stronger than when Druid draws too good in this matchup. Actually, like you can beat Wild Growth, Perfect Curve Harrison if you get backstab SI into teacher prep useful spell.
I mean that was pretty much the perfect hand for both players, right? And this match isn't like over by a long shot here. You have to swipe to like clear next.
Yeah, you hero power 1 of those, and then you swipe Wrath for 1 next turn.
Exactly. Or just swipe hero power.
So actually Shade was really good here. The stealth effect is so important.
Yeah. It really depends if a rogue draws another prep for the spread. It's going to be really, really hard.
I like playing a second teacher because you can't kill both with swipe.
Yeah, you have to follow up here pretty much.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy there that you get that draw with a Druid where you've got 2 shredders on the board in sort of 3 turns, and 2 turns later you're sitting there like praying that your swipe's good enough.
Yeah. Like, Druid has a lot more time than Rogue in this match because Rogue doesn't really necessarily have the good old 14 damage combo, right? So it's not harder for Rogue to burst the Druid than the other way around.
If he gets a raw, it would be pretty neat.
And now we say like this is the point where Rogue just loses because like that's actually a really good draw, but next turn he's gonna lose tempo because of low tap. Like he's gonna sit with 2 sprints that he can't play. I think playing lower is a mistake. I think you have to play a little tap here.
You recognize it. You just trade with a 4/4 here because you don't care about the teacher with low tap effect.
Exactly. And now it just sits there. Like, if he top decks the boom, that's just one out here. Nope.
Yeah, and this is when the rogue loses. Yeah, exactly.
Really, really interesting if both parties draw well. Now I just have spare the lore now. Draw into combo and win next turn, right? That's pretty much the game plan now. Because now the sprint is just too slow. Because you can't sprint and clear the board. There's no reason for healing here. Just a mistake. There's no way rogue bursts you from 14.
Yeah,
There is a way, but you have to have like he has 4 cards in hand. You basically have to have 4.
You also you don't see like the South Sea a lot right now.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that one in like at least a month. So just goes for face, setting up for the flurry next turn. Just gonna heal again. I mean, he sticks with the game plan, right?
Yep.
He can. I mean, he knows if he draws into a Savage, he just wins. Like, I feel he should just draw for it, but he feels like playing safe, so you can't really fault him for that much.
I don't know if Thalnos really does a lot here.
No, it doesn't do anything.
So he can't clear the second law.
No, he has to go for the sprint here.
He can actually, if he Thalnos flare and deck up, hit it, but that is not that's not great.
No, you can clear, but you take too much damage, right? So
yeah, I think you just play low step Thalnos flurry.
I would have gone.
Stab. Yeah, you stab it. You just stab it for sure. You're so low.
I would have gone for the sprint. I would have gone for the sprint here. Just look for the second prep. To be honest, see if you can draw into like a prep eviscerate to deal with the lower, but.
I think this is safer, but again, it's not.
Yeah, this is safer for sure, but like I don't think you win the game this way. Because you like basically just stall one more turn because you don't have a way to deal with the lore next turn again. It just.
And Super JJ realizes his chance of dying here is like really slim. So
it's kind of weird. Like he didn't. Like I don't know. He played really scared, but I guess he just wants to win this game, so just like. Takes the risk of playing slow. I actually see it deck end here. Interesting. But yeah, this game's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. Prep the fan. Draw an eviscerate. He's not dead on board, but.
Yeah, drawing double sprint was so unfortunate. That key low step turn from Super JJ has completely sealed the game.
Yeah, he needed one more minion there to follow up. He needed, like, if he has the boom on turn 7,
it would have been a way different game.
Yeah. So yeah, JJ takes it here, 3-1, right?
Yeah, JJ takes it 3-1, $500 for his day's work. Well, for the week's work as well beforehand, of course.
Not bad, not bad.
Not bad at all. And interesting, Ryzen maybe a little bit nervous there, but he did have some pretty bad draws in a lot of those games as well, to be fair. He had a great draw there, but it's not a great draw when your opponent has a great draw to match it. So